So I guess we're all kind of like wondering about this AI intelligence thing, right?
Right.
Like, how smart can it really get?
Huh.
Especially with these large language models, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, get this. Neuroscientist David Eagleman,
Okay.
he's saying, forget that old Turing test.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's saying the real test for AI, like if it's actually intelligent, is scientific discovery.
Interesting. So how do how do we even begin to test that?
Well, that's where these levels of scientific discovery come in.
Okay.
And it's not just like, AI spitting out facts that it's been fed. Like anybody can memorize trivia, right?
Right.
He's talking about actual leaps in understanding, like true breakthroughs.
Yeah, that makes sense. So how does this work? How do you measure that?
Well, he's got it broken down into 3 distinct levels.
Oh.
Level 0, which is like the starting point.
Right.
Imagine like an AI, it's reading through research papers, right?
Yeah.
And it's all excited because it just figured out that water boils at 100 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
Technically accurate, I guess,
Sure.
but not exactly groundbreaking.
Not changing the world,
I
right?
know. Like those personalized recommendations you get online sometimes.
Right. Right.
And it turns out everybody and their mother is getting the same recommendation.
Yeah.
It's not really personalized.
No.
So that's kind of like level 0. The AI found something that's already known, even if it was new to like the researcher or whoever programmed it.
It's like that illusion of intelligence, right? Just because it can find something doesn't mean it understands it.
Right, exactly. But level 1, this is where things get like actually useful.
Okay, how so?
Okay, so level 1 is where the AI goes past just recognizing patterns and it starts to like connect the dots in ways that are genuinely helpful. So for example, let's say you're researching some complex disease.
Okay.
And AI at level 1, it could theoretically like go through every single study that's ever been published on that disease.
Right.
Find these like subtle patterns in the data, make connections that maybe even the human researchers missed.
Oh, wow. So it's like having a superpowered research assistant.
Exactly. And think about what that could mean. I mean, we're talking about like potential breakthroughs in how we treat diseases, how we prevent them.
Yeah, that's incredible. So level 1 is like seriously powerful stuff.
Oh, yeah. It could revolutionize any field, really. I mean,
Yeah.
medicine, materials science, who knows, right?
So then level 2 must be, I don't even know. Is there even a level 2?
Well, that's the thing. If I'm getting this right, Eagleman would say that level 1, it's still not true intelligence.
Really? Okay, so what's missing? What would it take to get to actual intelligence then?
Level 2. That's the real head scratcher.
Okay, so what does level 2 look like? What's the difference?
It's like level 2 AI, that's where it wouldn't just be using Spock's tricorder.
Yeah.
It would be inventing the whole warp drive,
Okay, so we're talking about a whole different level of innovation then.
Exactly. Level 2 is like AI coming up with completely new scientific frameworks, not just, oh, here's a new fact I found, but here's a new way to understand the universe, like models that, I don't know, rewrite the textbooks.
So instead of just finding a new dinosaur fossil, level 2 AI would be like, hold on, we need to rethink this whole evolution timeline.
Yeah, like imagine, instead of analyzing telescope data to be like, oh, there's another planet, it's like, boom, here's a completely new theory of gravity that changes how we understand, like, the entire universe.
Okay, that's a little, that's huge. That's kind of mind-blowing if you really think about it.
Right. It's exciting and kind of freaky at the same time, right? Like, on the one hand, hello, we could solve climate change, cure all the diseases, right?
The possibilities.
But then it's like, what does it even mean to be human if we've got AI out there that can outthink us on that level?
Right, like where do we fit in then? If a machine can do all that?
That's a good question. And I guess that's what Eagleman is really getting at here, right? Like, can we actually program curiosity into a machine?
That's a good question.
So it's not just processing information, but it's actually asking the questions, like questioning the foundation of everything.
So it's almost like we're not just teaching it what to think, but how to think.
Right. Exactly. Because right now, AI is really good at finding the patterns.
Yeah, like that's what it's known for, pattern recognition.
But can we teach it to find what's missing from the pattern?
Oh, I see what you mean.
To be like, wait a minute, something's not adding up here. Even if we as humans don't even realize we're missing something.
Like challenging assumptions we didn't even know we had.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you know what it makes me think of?
What's that?
You know that saying, like, to assume makes, well, you know the rest.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, right? Like, are we assuming things about intelligence that maybe we need to rethink?
That's a really good point.
What even is the difference between, like, true discovery and just really, really good computation.
Right. Like, at what point does it become more than just, processing power?
Right.
Because we can, I don't know, we can train these AIs on all the data in the world, given these crazy, complicated algorithms. But can we actually, like, replicate that spark, that intuition that makes humans want to discover things?
It's almost like, are we talking about consciousness here? Like, can you have real discovery without some kind of awareness?
Yeah, it's a really deep question, right?
Because we can build AI that's, like, amazing at solving problems.
Right, like incredibly good at specific tasks.
But to actually discover something new, to
Yeah.
really push the boundaries of knowledge, does it need to be, like, aware of itself, of the world around it?
I mean, that's something philosophers have been wrestling with forever.
Right,
Right?
right.
Can we even understand consciousness, let alone build a machine that has it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Eagleman's framework, it doesn't really get into all of that, the philosophy of it all.
Yeah.
But it makes you think, what really separates us from these really, really advanced algorithms?
Yeah, for sure.
Is it just about processing power, or is there something more?
Yeah, and maybe that's the biggest takeaway from all of this. Like, just trying to create an AI that does science, it forces us to look in the mirror, right?
agree.
We have to examine our own assumptions about what makes us intelligent in the first place.
I mean, we've always put humans at the top, right? Like discovering things, that's what we do. It's what sets us apart. So if we manage to create something that can do the same, does that mean we weren't so special after all? Or does it mean that we've like unlocked this whole new level of understanding?
Whoa, okay. That's a head spinner.
Right.
Because, like, if we succeed at building level 2 AI, I mean, what does that even mean?
Right.
Does it mean we've figured out how intelligence works? Or does it mean that maybe we just, I don't know, redefine what intelligence can be?
That's a big one.
It's a lot.
Is.
And, maybe it's not just about, like, building smarter machines. Maybe it's about understanding what knowledge even is.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like, how much can we actually know?
Yeah, like what are the limits?
Yeah.
And then what happens if we break through those limits? What's on the other side?
Right. Oh, man. So we started with AI, and now we're here talking about, like, the meaning of knowledge.
The big questions, right?
This whole thing has really made me want to go back and reread every sci-fi book I ever loved.
Yeah, like with fresh eyes.
Totally.
And who knows, maybe even write a few new ones. I mean, the future is unwritten, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's us humans or our AI creations, we're still figuring this whole intelligence thing out.
Well said. Well, on that note, we're going to leave you with a question to ponder. If a machine can make real scientific discoveries, what does that mean for the future of, well, human ingenuity? What will our role be in a world where machines aren't just learning, but discovering? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Keep those questions coming, and we'll keep searching for answers.